What's going on, guys? On this episode, we jumped on with Captain Tommy Buskirk of Sea Island Adventures to chase down some redfish and trout. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this.
You know, it's like my usual morning rush. You know, you're trying to get the boat in the water, you know, catch bait, clean the boat, make sure everything's nice and tidy and ready to go before the clients get on the boat. So I always have more things to do than I have time. You know, there's always something that I can work on, something that I can clean up or re-rig. You know, it was fun. I was having a good time. I just love being out there in the morning, really. You know, it's quiet. Everybody else is either just waking up or on their way to work. And, you know, it's just a level of peace that you don't find many other places. So I don't know if I want to go chasing those over there. I think I want to go to a different part of the creek. So trying to catch some live shrimp. My friend Caleb told me when you have a mild tide, the shrimp will be way back in the creeks. So here we are, way back in the creeks, and we're gonna see if there's some shrimp. I did a sissy spin for the win. Gonna sink. We gotta tickle him. Gotta tickle him. Let's see if Caleb knows what he's talking about. Well, we got a couple in there. Yeah, couple of shrimpies. A little menhaden, how about that? Cool. Sissy spin. Coming in, wind's coming this way, so I'm not quite sure how the boat's gonna sit, but the trout have been kind of hanging out around here. There's like some dead shell over here, and you can kind of see how the ripples are on the water. Yeah. The tide's coming, it's hitting that dead shell rig, and I've been setting up here and just kind of throwing. Now, wind's actually ideal for it because it'll help us make a long cast. We'll throw some floats that way and just let them kind of drift back across this. And it's not like normally, you know, the redfish are normally like right up on the bank. It's not like that at this spot with the trout because the structure is actually over there where you see those ripples. Right. Because it's deeper here. This is like the little horseshoe channel. Sometimes they're in there, but lately they've been in this shallow, so I like to hook them right in front of the black dot behind the horn. Just like that. That lets them flick and pop around. Very attractive to a nice young trout. So we had some really good days here with the trout. When it first started getting cold is when they first showed up here. We'll see. Like I said, tide's a little bit high for it. Yeah, that's it right there, man. That's the spot. Did you just go under? Fish on! There you go. Yeah. There we go. Nice trout to start the day.
Oh yeah.
Get the skunk off. All right. Secret red bead. I can't be giving away all my secrets now. Fish on! Oh! Yeah, boy! There we go. Little guy.
Yeah.
Boat flipper. Alright, that's going away. You can flip him. Another. Up. That's down a little deep. Oh! Oh! Get him, little deep! He ain't that big. He was an angry one. He's grunting again. You hear it? You don't hear it? I can feel it. Another little one? Yeah, they're all about that size. Where's the big mama? That's what we need to find, the big mama. Alright, quick release on this one. Getting back for the big mama. Small one again? Yeah, put them all in. Here, I'll come back. All been about that size, about 13 inches. A little too small to keep. Fun to catch though. Hey, here's why they call them paper mouths. See the hole he wore in his mouth? Then they'll shake their head and the hook falls right out. So you gotta keep tension on a trout. So the conditions were not ideal. We had a larger than usual tide range, and we also had winds gusting up to 25 mile an hour out of the northwest. High tide was early, and so I wanted to get out there even earlier, you know, to try to catch some fish before the tide got way up in the grass. So we started out trout fishing, and we caught some trout right off the rip. There wasn't any size to them really. We were kind of confined to fishing the backwaters, staying out of that wind. But we got on some trout early, and then we went to target bull reds. Yeah, big cut mullet. Just gonna chunk them up on the bottom. I actually like when it still frozen too. I'm just gonna throw one on the deep side and one on the shallow side. Always gotta move the scales. Scales out of the way. Alright. Send it out. Our one on the deep side there. The biggest thing is the biggest mistake people make is grabbing the rod too soon. If you start seeing a bite, it might start bending, bouncing up and down. Just let them eat it. Wait until wait till they bend it all the way over and start running. You'll know when they're on. When they start running and pull and drag, then it's time. There you go. See that rod tip up still? Over to the power pole? There you go. There you go. Yep, yeah, let's pull that one in. Fish on! Oh! So, don't sweat it, man. It was a shark. It was a shark. Was it? If you cut it, one of the spots we were fishing for bull reds, it wasn't happening, but you know, there were some sea bass down there, and we were able to just drop a jig with I believe a curly tail on it, and just drop it down. And I mean, the bull reds weren't biting, but the sea bass were. Every bite or every drop you'd get a bite, and I was surprised that we actually caught 2 keeper-sized sea bass, which is, you know, it's kind of rare to catch them 13 inches and above inshore. But ultimately, I knew the fishing for trout and redfish was going to be tough around high tide, because the water was just so high. You know, those fish can push way back into areas that they don't ordinarily get to, and it's hard to get a bite from them. But you know, I had a feeling once that water kind of started coming out of the grass, and the bait started flushing out of the grass, and shrimp started flushing out of the grass, that we would have another feeding window. The old knocker rig never fails. Very simple. Weight and a hook. I'm actually going to go for a circle hook here. The reason I like the circle hook fishing the trees and the knocker rig in general, the circle hook the point goes in, so it does not hook the trees as easily as like a sticky J hook. And likewise with that knocker rig, the weight is right on the hook. It's not swinging around. So you can throw it up in the trees where these fish like to be. All right, this one's good to go. Let's shrimp it up. Let's see. I like a medium. Mediums are the best in my opinion. Hooking them just like we did earlier. There you go. Fish this area or that area or any of this. Here to here is where the fish should be. Thankfully. Oh yeah, baby! Fish on! Oh my gosh! Get them, Gene! Oh yeah! Oh my god, that's 10-pound braid. Don't let him get you in those trees. Oh no. You got a drag, Taylor. Still on there? That's gonna be a big red. Oh yeah, he's coming to us now. I got the net. Oh, don't let him get the trolling motor. Oh, look at him. Nice red. There he is. Oh. Oh, one more. Got him! We got him! Was that drag loose or what?
Yeah. One today.
Check him out. Alright, one more spot. Maybe it'll be on. soon as that water started dumping out of that grass, you know, you could see shrimp popping, you could see fish kind of chasing, and you know, we got on a pretty good bite. So, you know, I think that's maybe a hard thing for a lot of people to understand that aren't from here or aren't used to our tides. You know, every 6 hours and 15 minutes we have a tide change, and you know, those fish, they don't feed at every point in the tide, you know, or if they do, they're feeding at different spots or are good on certain parts of the tide. So, you know, you kind of have to stay on the move, and you have to be at the right place at the right time. And you know, the conditions on this trip were pretty challenging, but we stuck it out and finally got to where we were at the right place at the right time. There you go. There you go. There you go. We own them now. We own them now. There you go. Nice. Boy, you got him. Ew! Nicely done, sir.
Come on now. Might be a pretty good one.
Oh yeah.
This is the key, everybody. You don't quit. It's a tough bite most of the day. Captain Tommy will tell you. But you persevere, this is what you get. I kept telling you the whole day. Last hour of the day.
He told me. Ooh-wee. Ooh, that's a big one. Oh, look at him.
Let's go.
Woohoo!
Net job. Yeah, buddy.
You know, growing up in Beaufort, especially in the 90s, you know, there wasn't a whole lot else to do here but be on the water. I mean, that's what Beaufort is. That's what makes Beaufort great. It's a fishing town. And so, you know, I was the kind of kid that slept with my clothes on. Didn't even hardly sleep, you know, because I was awake at 5 in the morning, you know, getting the rods ready, just enjoying every part of that experience, you know, going to the gas station at 5 a.m. and getting coffee and the excitement of what the day would hold, because you just never knew what you were going to get into. And kind of hence why I wanted to name, you know, this company Sea Island Adventures, because, you know, catching fish is great. I love catching fish, but no matter what, you're out here, you're going on an adventure. You don't know what you're going to get into.